I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible because I was actually in this movie. I'm in one of the baseball scenes, the one where they're scouting Billy. It was one night of filming. It was very pleasant. It was filmed in March. I'm sitting very, very close, almost next to Clint Eastwood, like to the left of him, one row down. I got to meet him, and he was really nice. It was a really great set. It was a very different set. It was almost completely silent. I'm used to people yelling cut and reset and back to one and action and all of that stuff, and they didn't do any of that on set per Robert Lorenz's, the director's request. This was rolling, for example. A really, really interesting set to be on, and actually I really liked it being silent. But it was a little disappointing because when I went in the theater and saw it with my husband, my part had gotten cut out. And that happens sometimes. So I'm trying not to let the feeling that I had in the theater when that happened affect my review now, and also not try absolute bias I have towards Clint Eastwood, who is an amazing director and musician and composer and everything, and he was actually really, really nice, and I got to shake his hand and talk to him, and that's really cool, and I take that away, and I take a learning experience away, and it was still, you know, I still got to act, and I still got paid. When the DVD comes out, I will be scouring all of the deleted scenes, trying to find my scene, and maybe even watching some of the making ofs to see if I'm in that too. I'm a nerd, and I will post then and let everybody know what scene I'm in and if I am indeed in the deleted scenes. Hi, this is Michelle from Memoirs of a Movie Maven, and the movie I'm reviewing for you today is Trouble with the Curve. Trouble with the Curve stars Clint Eastwood, Amy Adams, Justin Timberlake, Matthew Lillard, Scott Eastwood, John Goodman, there we go. And okay, that's all I can remember. Clint Eastwood plays this ailing and aging, grumpy baseball scout whose eyes are starting to fail him, and whose friend, played by John Goodman, convinces his estranged daughter, played by Amy Adams, to accompany him on this scouting trip to be his eyes to help him out. I wouldn't really call this a baseball movie. Yes, it's talks about the curve and in the title, and it'll explain that later. There's some baseball scenes, and there's a really cool scene with Justin Timberlake and Amy Adams in a bar quizzing each other on baseball trivia. I really love that scene. But this movie, baseball is a backdrop. The central story is actually about the relationship, or the lack of relationship, between Clint Eastwood and Amy Adams' character. They're very estranged, and as you go throughout the film you start to figure out why. You get tiny little tidbits of things, and then Justin Timberlake plays a former baseball player who is scouting and who becomes a love interest of Amy Adams. This movie was pleasant. I love sports movies, and I love baseball movies. My dad was a pitcher, actually, and he loves baseball. It reminds me of my childhood, and that's why I love baseball movies. I also love sports movies in general. That amazing, inspirational, edge-of-your-seat feeling you get when you watch sports movies, I didn't find here, because it wasn't a sports movie in the normal sense. It was really more about the relationship. So because I didn't get the drama from the sports scenes, I needed it from the characters, specifically between Amy Adams and Clint Eastwood. And though they both acted very well, Clint Eastwood can growl like no other, though my husband does do a very good impression, I think. And Amy Adams was amazing as usual, 2-time Oscar nominee. I would expect nothing less. I felt that the writing was a little weak. Every time they would get in a fight, every time the tension would build to that moment, and then it was a letdown because she would leave the room, or leave the cafeteria, or leave the diner, or leave, you know, wherever it was that they were having that conversation, she would get up and leave. And so it was a huge build-up. It did that throughout the entire movie, to this huge build-up of this final cataclysm between the two of them, this final fight between the two of them where everything's revealed and you understand all about their relationship. That should have been volcanic because of the tension building up. It's a little bit of a letdown because I'm not going to give away what happened, but it should have gone darker. This film should have gotten a little more adult. It almost seemed as if they were trying to go for family movie territory, and I think given some of the things in the script and given the relationship between the two characters, I think that they should have gone for a more adult themed film. They should have just given it a rated R. Jerry Maguire was a sports movie that was rated R and it was still really good. You know, you can do that with a sports film. It doesn't have to be family oriented, because I think that kids aren't going to get this movie anyway. There isn't enough baseball to make young kids happy. So there wasn't enough to make kids happy with the whole friendly thing, because there wasn't enough baseball, but there wasn't enough of the kind of adult themes. I don't mean nudity or anything like that. It just means, you know, really tough, raw, adult drama. And there wasn't enough of that to make me as an adult moviegoer happy. And so it never did either. Now, to Robert Lorenz's praise, this is his first film. He's been the assistant director to Clint Eastwood since '95, Bridges of Madison County, and he did direct it on a technical level very well. That set that I was on was the most well-run set I've ever been on in my life. We were out of there early. That means I didn't get paid overtime, you know. In terms of just efficiency, he ran that set better than I've ever seen anyone. There was a smoothness to the entire movie. It could have felt very jumpy. It's a scouting trip, so he's going from one location to one location, so that's a lot of editing that has to happen, and it never felt jumpy. It never felt like I was jumping around. It felt very, very smooth. Felt like it did on set, just very, very pleasant. I liked the movie. I wanted to love it. I really did. I wish my part hadn't gotten edited out. But aside from that, I liked it. Would I recommend it? I would recommend it to baseball buffs because there is some cool things with baseball. There's some stuff at the end. There's a couple of baseball scenes at the end that actually did give me the chills that I was looking for, that I love from inspirational sports films. I love the scene with Amy Adams and Justin Timberlake with the baseball trivia. I think everyone will like that. I don't think this is a family film. I think kids would be really bored with this movie, honestly. From a guy's perspective, my husband really enjoyed it. He thought it was a very enjoyable movie. I probably watch it again. I'll probably even buy it just because I'm in it. And hopefully I'll be in the deleted scenes. My rating for this film would be stamped out, but worth watching. It's a Clint Eastwood movie. Watch it for that. Watch it if you're a baseball fan. Watch it if you're an Amy Adams fan. If you're a Justin Timberlake fan, I guess you can watch it, but he's really underutilized in this movie. He did a really good job. He's not very consistent as an actor. Sometimes he's great and sometimes he's eh. And being in so many scenes with Clint Eastwood, I thought, you know, Clint Eastwood would just like, you know, garble him up. But he actually came up to par with him and looked comfortable with him, which is saying a lot. It's freaking Clint Eastwood. We'll give him props for that, but it was definitely a boyfriend role, and I hate those roles. Yes, he didn't care because he was like, I'm doing a movie with Clint Eastwood, and, you know, I don't care what part I get, and, you know, I'm kind of the same way. I didn't care what part I got. Movie with Clint Eastwood, pretty good. I wasn't mad at it. It's not incredibly memorable, a little predictable. There are parts of the script that I found clever, and there were parts of the script that I found shallow, that needed to dig in more, and I think that would have required a higher rating on the MPAA scale. But I think that it probably would have been better for it. And I think if Clint had directed it, it would have gone that deeper way, and I think that it needed to have a meatier script, and it just didn't. Updates on my career. So Seven Tail Maggie is wrapped. Yes! It's being edited right now. Really excited about it. Can't wait to see it. I just auditioned for a couple different parts that I can't say anything about. I'm not going to say anything until I find out if I get them. If I don't get them, I just won't mention them. I mean, you'll never know. The trailer for 42 is playing in Trouble with the Curve. So if you go and see Trouble with the Curve, whether it's in the big theater now or the dollar theater, you'll see the trailer for 42 or look it up on YouTube or IMDb. That's the film that I was in over the summer, and it's about Jackie Robinson. It comes out in April. I'm still working on Church of Redemption. Next month it will be done. It will be wrapped. Got to get into a recording studio. I'm really excited. This film has been great and so much work, but it's been the meatiest role I've had, so I've really enjoyed it. Okay, well, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter at Movie Memoirs, go to my blog. If you go to Google, type in Memoirs of a Movie Maven, it'll pop right up. Go to my Weebly, michelennichols.weebly.com. Look me up on IMDb and do a little Facebook like on there for me. It'll up my rating. I'm the second Michele Nichols, the one that says from Trouble with the Curve. And okay, thanks so much, guys. And the question I have for you is, what is your favorite baseball? It doesn't have to be baseball, but what is your favorite sports movie? And what is your favorite Clint Eastwood movie? It can be a movie that he was in, it can be a movie that he directed, it could be both. That's fine. Mine, personally, my favorite sports movie would be Remember the Titans, also filmed in Georgia. My favorite Clint Eastwood movie, I would say $1 Million Baby, maybe. He also did a really good job in Trouble with the Curve. There were some moments that there was some real tearjerker emotion. From a director standpoint, I would say my favorite is Mystic River. Definitely. So thanks so much, you guys, for watching, and follow everything and just keep up with everything. And okay, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.